Chioma had never imagined that one message could turn her life upside down. Living in the bustling city of Lagos, she was a simple woman with a quiet life, devoted to her husband, Obinna, and their 2 children. Their life wasn't easy, but they found joy in their small world. However, things have been getting tougher lately. Obinna's salary as an office clerk barely stretched far enough, and her tailoring business was struggling under the weight of debts and an ailing mother in the village. Sometimes, Chioma wondered if life would ever give her a break. One evening, as Chioma was finishing the last stitch on a client's dress, her phone buzzed. It was an unknown number. "Good evening. I have a business proposal for you. If interested, please reply." Chioma stared at the message, eyebrows raised. Who was this stranger? She decided to ignore it. But just as she turned off her sewing machine, her phone chimed again. "Chioma, I believe this message could change your life. Trust me, you don't want to ignore this opportunity." A chill ran down her spine. How did this person know her name? Against her better judgment, curiosity got the best of her, and she replied, "Who is this?" Almost instantly, the reply came. "Let's just say I'm a friend with resources. I have an offer that could solve all your problems. Would you be willing to spend one night with me for 10 million Naira?" Chioma felt her heart pounding. 10 million Naira? She reread the message, unable to believe her eyes. Who was this mysterious stranger? And why her? Her mind raced. 10 million Naira was a life-altering amount of money. It could pay her children's school fees, cover her mother's medical bills, clear their debts, and even give her business a new beginning. But something felt wrong. She couldn't shake the unease settling in her stomach. That night, Chioma barely slept. She kept glancing at her phone, wondering if the man would text again. He didn't. The next morning, she confided in her best friend, Amara, who gasped when she heard the offer. "Chioma, you're not seriously thinking about this, are you? What kind of man offers that kind of money for one night? It's suspicious." "I know, Amara, but 10 million Naira," Chioma's voice trailed off. She tried to push the thought away, but the temptation clung to her. Days passed, and each time Chioma's phone chimed, her heart leapt with dread and excitement, wondering if it was him again. Then, one evening, just as she was getting ready to close her shop, another message came through. 15 million Naira. Final offer. Meet me at the Grand Hotel in Abuja tomorrow night. I'll be waiting. 15 million. Chioma sat there, staring at the message. How could she ignore such an offer? But fear gnawed at her. She didn't know this man. What if he was dangerous? What if this was a trap? She tried to discuss it with Obinna, but each time she started, she couldn't bring herself to say the words. She was torn, standing at a crossroads between financial salvation and the risk of the unknown. The next day, after much hesitation, Chioma made up her mind. She packed a small bag, left a note for Obinna that she'd be spending the night with Amara, and boarded a bus to Abuja. Her hands shook the entire journey, and an uneasy feeling simmered in her chest. What if this was the biggest mistake of her life? When she arrived at the Grand Hotel, her stomach twisted with dread. She walked through the elegant lobby, noticing the quiet stares of guests and the hushed whispers of employees. She approached the front desk, and the receptionist, as if expecting her, handed her a key with a polite smile. "Room 709, she said. Chioma's palms were sweaty as she made her way to the 7th floor. The hallway felt endless, and each step echoed louder than the last. Her mind raced with every possibility, every outcome, every warning she'd ignored. She reached room 709 and hesitated, her hand hovering over the doorknob. She took a deep breath, steadied herself, and knocked. The door swung open, and there stood a tall, well-dressed man in his 40s with piercing eyes and a calm, almost unsettling smile. "Chioma, I'm so glad you came," he said, his voice smooth as silk. The man led her into the suite, where a lavish dinner was laid out. They sat, and he poured her a glass of wine. The atmosphere was tense, yet oddly calm. He seemed in no rush, and his gaze was unreadable. "Tell me, Chioma," he began, his eyes studying her. "What do you think about power?" She blinked, surprised by the question. "Power," she echoed. "Yes, power. Influence. Money. What do they mean to you?" Chioma hesitated, unsure of what he was getting at. She didn't want to offend him, so she simply said, "They can solve problems, but they come at a cost." He smiled, almost as if pleased by her answer. "Wise words," he said, and then pushed a small envelope across the table. Chioma picked it up and opened it, revealing a thick wad of cash. She looked at him, bewildered. 15 million Naira, he said calmly. Just as I promised. Chioma's heart raced. She had the money, but she still didn't understand why she was here. "Are you not expecting anything in return?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. The man leaned back, watching her closely. "I wanted to test you, Chioma. I am an investor, but I also believe in something deeper than money. I'm looking for people with potential, people who are willing to face their fears, even if it means walking into a stranger's hotel room." Chioma was stunned. This was all a test. Yes, I wanted to see if you'd have the courage to take this risk. But more importantly, I wanted to see if you would be wise enough to recognize the danger and walk away. He paused, his face darkening slightly. "You surprised me, Chioma. I expected you to leave." Chioma felt a chill. She realized she'd put herself in real danger. Yet here she was, sitting before him, unharmed but deeply shaken. The man's tone softened as he continued. "Take this money, Chioma. Use it to build your business, to support your family. But remember, not every opportunity is worth the price." He stood up, signaling the end of the conversation, and Chioma rose, clutching the envelope. She thanked him, though her voice trembled with both relief and a strange fear she couldn't place. As she exited the hotel, she kept glancing over her shoulder, unable to shake the feeling that she was being watched. In the weeks that followed, she would wake up at night, haunted by dreams of that piercing gaze and that question about power. She realized that the man had left more than just money in her hands. He had left her with a haunting reminder of how dangerous temptation could be. With the money, she built her business, but Chioma kept her story close to her heart, never telling anyone the true details of that night. And as her tailoring shop grew, she found herself whispering a prayer each day, grateful not just for the opportunity she'd been given, but for the fact that she had walked away with her integrity intact. Some say that if you go to room 709 of the Grand Hotel at midnight, you might still feel a strange presence lingering, as if someone is watching, testing, waiting. Thanks for watching. Kindly like, share, and subscribe for more videos.